Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another exciting Minecraft episode. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm here with Giovanni. And today we are going to talk about eclipse wisdom because we are feeling totally inspired on this bluebird of a day. We couldn't ask for better here to talk about, just some eclipse wisdom. That's really what we want to talk about. And on the way here, and there's like these huge mud ruts and everything, because we live way out there in northern Vermont, and it's gorgeous. We love it here. Obviously, or we wouldn't be here. So we chose it, and the woods are gorgeous anyway. So as far as the eclipse wisdom, it has had me thinking of several different things. It's that creative impulse just surging. When I have creative impulses just surging, I kind of have to act on them. It's just my wiring. And so right away with the eclipse, I just want to talk about control being a total illusion. It's such a reminder of that. This is this huge natural thing that can be seen only in specific locations in the world. And right now it's a few spots. I know it's Vermont. I know it's Texas. I think there's some other spots. But northern Vermont was sparsely populated up here, and we've got like box seats for the eclipse, and so I'm going to go there next. But as far as like the whole letting go of control, we've been talking about that in a few other episodes. And here's the thing: it's such an illusion. Think about this: the eclipse is going to happen whether we want it to or not, and it's going to be gorgeous. Here's the other thing: it could have. We didn't want to put it out there, but, the clouds and the rain, it's a bluebird today. We also have no control over that. And so it just kind of reminds us, I think, that it's the humility piece that came to my mind first, I would say. That we're all grains of sand on a really big beach. We are grains of sand on a really big beach. And when we get wrapped up in control and attached to outcome, and this has to be that way, and that has to be this way, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment and unhappiness, because think of the eclipse. It's going to roll through. They even have it nailed to the exact minute. So, so like there's a power greater than all of us who's in charge is kind of the point, regardless of what you call that. God, higher power, universe, whatever. It's all unfolding exactly as it's meant to. So that was the first thing. Control being an illusion. And the next thing was really also the grain of sand humility piece, which just reminds us how big things are, I think we know that if somebody stopped us in the middle of the street or the living room or something and said, do you realize that the Milky Way galaxy goes on, and after that there are more galaxies, and space is infinite, and we'd say, of course. But do we really think that on a daily basis? Do we really realize our place in the universe, that we are really grains of sand on a ginormous, infinite, in an infinite, universe? And that leads me to, what was his last name? Gratitude. Because we can only do what we can as being grains of sand. And I also want to say, that said, it's also really important that we do what we can. And Fred, what is his last name? Fred from Stanford, Dr. Fred from Stanford. His last name's leaving me. Anyway, you could look it up, because he talks about forgiveness and gratitude, and he's secular. He's really clear that he's secular, and he says, I think he even uses the phrase woo-woo. He's not talking in a woo-woo sense, but how gratitude and forgiveness are so connected. So when I'm thinking of the eclipse, I was just walking in here, my arms are up, wildly flaying around, to just being so grateful for this gorge. It's not even 7 o'clock, whatever it is right now, 7 something. Bluebird of a sky with, where is he? Little Giovanni there to walk with me, and just realizing I'm just so grateful for everything. This day, the bluebird again, for all the people who made such an effort and the money to come up here and see it, because they could have made all that effort and spent all that money and then had a cloudy day, and it would have been all probably a nice vacation, maybe some nice heart-to-heart talks in the car, but it would have been like a Debbie Downer, and so I'm so grateful for that. I also right away came to me, and I'm not a soapbox person. I don't even like people like that. I only know how to be authentic. I only have tolerance for authentic. Also, it made me think of my youngest brother-in-law, who's blind, and that on any day of the week is got to be very hard. And I can count on one hand the times I've seen him in a bad mood, smiling just high majority of the time. And I think of it has to kind of suck in general. although, like at family gatherings and stuff, when it's something like that, you can hear the conversation, you can hug, and it still stinks. I wouldn't even want to do a day in his life. He's amazing. But with the eclipse, you got nothing. There's no auditory, there's no, extra sensory anything coming through. So he just can't experience it. And all the other visually impaired or non-sighted people can't experience that. And I was kind of overwhelmed in the Jeep, to be truthful, of gratitude for my eyesight and also the, being able to be here with box seats in the middle of absolutely nowhere on my back deck to be able to see it and just feeling so grateful for that opportunity. And it's also free. The eclipse is free with the way the world is, and inflation. So many things are ridiculously expensive, including the staples like food. And, this experience with box seats is free. And so there's just so much wisdom coming to me from the eclipse. Again, the eyesight, the gratitude, the illusion of control, and the wonderful reminder of our humility. Because in my opinion, that whole grain of sand thing that I was talking about is, it takes the pressure off. Because I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in our own self-importance. We get so wrapped up in over-seriousness, kind of looking at life as an emergency or even just an urgency, something that has to be survived all the time on a daily basis. Now, certainly there we get thrown curveballs. We get thrown really rough curveballs sometimes, and that temporary survival thing is one thing. But when we get into, the routine of things being an urgency or emergency, even when they're not, is exhausting. And it's, I don't know, because the powerfulness of the eclipse situation happening, again, whether we want it to or not, is just a reminder of that let it go already. Be in the moment. Enjoy this bluebird of a gorgeous day. Even if you can only get out in it for that, I think it's 1 minute and 38 seconds or something, that when it actually goes dark and all the cool part. But if you can get longer than that, a little bit longer than that, to just absorb it the best you can. And it's just such a reminder to be in the moment in general. Even after the eclipse comes and goes, it's just such a reminder that the whole universe is so much bigger than we are. Let it go. Be in the moment. Be grateful. Realize that abundance is infinite. And just be happy. Be happy as much as you can. Because I know, again, the curveball thing. As much as you can every day in every way. And just, be here, be now. Be loving, kind, be grateful. That's just what this whole thing has me thinking of this morning at 7-ish a.m. with Giovanni in the deep woods with the brook roaring because the snow is melting. So happy Eclipse Day.